Hello everyone. Any construction or repair work is impossible without the use of a universal building material, cement of different types and grades. We're so used to this product that we don't even think about the question, how is cement made? Let's dig deeper into the complex technology of production of such an important and necessary building material. Let's go. In construction works, cement is consumed as an independent raw material and as a component in the composition of concrete or reinforced concrete. Without further ado, it's clear that the process of its manufacture is quite expensive and labor-intensive. And although today manufacturers on the market offer a huge number of types of cement, still, the production technologies remain standard. Let's talk about the stages of cement production. It's worth noting that the production of this building material should be divided into two main stages: obtaining clinker and quality grinding of the components. Clinker is a special mixture of natural character, which as a rule is made of lime, about 75%, and clay, about 25%. All of its components are necessarily fired in special furnaces under the influence of high temperatures. It's also possible to replace clay with other components of natural origin, such as rotten stone or dolomite. In addition, in the natural environment, there is already a ready-made clinker, which does not need to be fired at all. Yes, do not be surprised. It's marl, such a rock. But in nature, there's very little of this material, and so manufacturers create clinker themselves, artificially. The second stage consists in thoroughly mixing the clinker components in special containers, and this is also a critical process. After the work is done, the resulting mixture is fired for a long time in special furnaces, thanks to which all the components actively begin to interact. As a result, the lime and clay form some balls, the size of walnuts, and only then the components again need to be mixed and crushed. As for the technology of cement production itself, it definitely has its own peculiarities, depending on the method: wet, dry, or combined. Technology of cement production by dry method. I'll say right away that from the perspective of economic profitability, this method is the most attractive. Apparently, that's why it's also used in almost every large production facility. What are its peculiarities? Firstly, it's the dryness of the components at absolutely all working stages. The basis of material production is based on the chemical and physical characteristics of the raw materials used. Each of the elements is necessarily subjected to an additional drying process and then ground to powder. The components are combined and mixed, or more scientifically, homogenized. The output can then be homogenization silage or raw meal, which is sent to the kiln to undergo a delicate roasting process. It is this fired material that is called clinker. The next stage is when various necessary additives are added to the clinker, depending on the type of cement, after which all components are again ground and mixed. Finally, the obtained raw materials are sent to the prepared hopper for storage with the help of special machines. There, the cement is packed into bags of different capacities, and then it's sent for further shipment. Wet cement production technology. The next method is wet, and this means that the creation of the cement mixture takes place with a direct addition of liquid. It's not difficult to guess that this method is less popular than the one we just talked about. Carbonate chalk and silicate clay are used in its production. It's also possible to use iron-containing additives, such as BOF sludge and pyritic residues. The clay to be used is processed in special roller crushing systems, crushed to the size of granules from 0 to 100 millimeters. The obtained composition is further sent to the mixers for further soaking. This creates a slurry with a moisture level of about 70%. The components included in the mixture are mixed and pulverized using a specified percentage of moisture. The result is a charge with a moisture level in the range of 30 to 50%. It's here, at this important stage, that quality control is mandatory. If everything has been done well and correctly, the charge is fired at high temperatures, turning it into tiny grains. These are then carefully ground to a fine powder. Not surprisingly, this technology is only used in the production of some mortars. It's all about the labor-intensive nature of the processes. Technology of cement production by combined method. Already from the name, it's clear that this technology has managed to combine two methods of cement production at once. The fact is that in the grinding drum, the sludge undergoes a stage of forced moistening to 40 to 45%. Then the composition passes through special filters to dehydrate it, after which it's taken out and sent for heating. This process also has the effect of significantly reducing the moisture content of the slurry. And only after all these moments, the cement mass is submitted to a strong heating, where it's regularly and thoroughly mixed. The finished product is sent for storage and for subsequent packing into bags. Making white cement mortar. Speaking of cement production, it's impossible not to tell separately about the manufacture of white cement. This construction material is often used for surface finishing, and after its complete drying, it becomes pure white. The mix includes marl, limestone, marble, sand and clay, but not as much in quantity as grey cement. Another thing is marble chips, which constitute the greater part of the mixture. For the whitish color, responsible for the chalk and kaolin in the composition. Not insignificant in this production, the very quality of the water used. The material undergoes several levels of purification, so the result is cement of high quality. The grinding of clinker continues in the mill unit, in which a specific liner is installed. The grinding delicacy of white cement is much higher than that of ordinary grey cement. As a result, white cement products do not crumble, do not deteriorate, and are easy to care for. Therefore, the material is often used in the creation of various architectural forms and buildings. It's also important to say that such a snow-white shade of the material allows you to create other colors. At the final stage of production, it's sufficient to introduce a certain percentage of pigment additives into the mixture. Now you know exactly how cement is made in a factory in all of its intricacies. Do you still have any questions? Write them in the comments. If you like the video, don't forget to put a like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon. Bye.